Alright, what's good, world? What's good? What's good? Hopefully everybody out there is doing good and living peaceful. Welcome back to Talking That Talk, official podcast. I go by the name of King Exodus, aka X.
What's going on, world? It's your boy Juice, aka No Ordinary Brother, aka Rising Pharaoh.
Alright, so pretty interesting topic we got, but before we get into it, we'd like to thank everybody that's locked into the channel. Make sure you subscribe. If you're not locked in, you don't want to be one of those. And shouts out to everybody that's tuning in via IG Live. So, topic we're hitting y'all with tonight is pretty much we're going to get into black entertainers and politics. Should they get involved? Should they not get involved? And you have certain people that feel like if black entertainers do get involved in politics, then it has to be done in a particular fashion. People don't allow people to be themselves when they do get into those ventures. So we're going to try to hit every important key point of the conversation that we can. We're going to bring up a couple of names. Some people may get offended by some names, some may not. But it is what it is.
Right.
So getting into the conversation, first off, I would say that black entertainers have the right to get involved in politics if they feel it's a necessity. Not every person is going to get involved. Some people just want to live their life and keep everything simple and make their money. There's nothing wrong with that.
Correct.
We can't put that pressure on every black entertainer and say that you owe it to your race to get involved into the same dogfight that everybody else is into. Because in order for a collective group to be successful, not everybody is going to be involved into the same things. So you have to have diversity, diverse actions amongst entertainers. So kicking it off, man, I think that the black entertainers now don't get the same credit that they've gotten in the past. Probably because we just don't value such actions. Like Kyrie Irving, for example. That's no different from Muhammad Ali not wanting to go into the military, go and fight a war.
Huh.
You know what I'm saying? He made similar comments, took similar actions, and got punished for it. And now you have black people that saw Muhammad Ali do his thing. These people are calling Kyrie Irving stupid and not respecting his political disposition. But when Muhammad Ali did it, it was great. It was iconic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you have Colin Kaepernick, you know what I'm saying, the first guy to take a knee. And white America punished him, you know what I'm saying, and gave him as much backlash. People said he wasn't being patriotic. Fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? People, the abused group has to do loud things in order to get attention. And sometimes it don't sit well with people that's not a part of that group. So you can't really tell another group how to handle their dispositions if you're not living that same reality that they have to wake up to every day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Colin Kaepernick, I don't think black people really idolized him the way that they should have when he was doing his thing. So I ain't gonna get too long-winded on it. I would just say, give the people of today the same credit that you gave people of old. You know what I'm saying? Because they're doing the same things. And even now, I would say give them a little bit more credit because they really don't have to do the shit. You know what I'm saying? They really could just be like everybody else and just keep getting their money and worry about themselves.
Fall in line, in other words.
You got it?
It was interesting. You made an interesting statement. You said it's the people who are getting, what was it? You said something about the ones we have to be loud. At the same time, if you pay attention to all of our actions, we wasn't necessarily loud. It just became loud because it started getting broadcasted, right? When Colin Kaepernick started first taking a knee, nobody paid attention. It was one reporter who kept observing his actions during the anthem, who then publicized his action, and then they asked him, "Hey, why aren't you standing up for the flag? I noticed like several games you just been taking a knee." Then he voiced his thoughts. Everything. A lot of people do things in a silent manner, or in a manner that's just like, "Hey, it's not really a big deal. This is how I think. This is what I believe." Mm-hmm. It's not until they're asked by a reporter to broadcast their thoughts that things get blown out of proportion all the time. So we got to pay attention to how the media broadcasts us when we want to voice our opinions on different subjects, different subject matters. Now, also, even with Ali's situation, Ali was just like, I'm not about to fight a war that's, I had nothing to do with me and my people. And then it got blown up to the proportion that it did, to where the whole world took storm, right? Then we can look at other political positions. Like I said in the last episode, you had Gandhi. Gandhi did a whole fast for I believe like 30 to 40 something days he wasn't fasting until there was some type of peace being created within the political establishment that he was trying to get through to the world. What was going on, what was occurring. It's just that nowadays as individuals, some people feel like we should get involved and some people should get involved, right? Not too long ago there was a question by one of the reporters that asked, with all the riots that was going on, asked Young Thug, should rappers not get involved in politics or into media? He felt it shouldn't be our place for it, right? But we all understand as a black entertainer and people look up to us, we have a certain influence over the culture, the media, and how people will project us. Like I said, black culture is one of the most vulture cultures of the world. People take the ideas and try to run with it and market it in different ways or just become us because we're so hip and lingo. Now, since we started out with Kyrie Irving, we got to also remember Kyrie has never been afraid to voice his opinion on any subject. So we got to applaud that as well. When people call them stupid or whatnot for not wanting to proceed forward,
say the V. You
say
the word.
I'm just saying what I gotta say.
No, I'm saying say V. Don't say the word.
I mean, proceed forward. I mean,
I'm saying that a lot of people they get as soon as you say the V word or the C word, your shit gets taken down. So we gotta say the V word and C word. We talk about that. Just FYI.
Oh man, I lost my thought now. Shit, I lost my thought now, man. You explaining stuff, man. I lost my thought.
Yeah, we didn't discuss the V word and C word scenario beforehand. My apologies.
That's cool, but like I said, even when it came to his situation with Kyrie, nobody's liking the fact that he's taking a stand, right? Everybody feels like you should follow the crowd in order to get paid. You know, that was one of the biggest things that Dave Chappelle was going to be something we're dropping. He said you got to be able to look at money in different points to be able to walk away. He said I had 50 mil on the table. I took the bus to get away from it because I had a certain stance I wasn't going to be able to take. You know, it's crazy to a point where your voice will be censored. Like this whole censoring thing has gone crazy with the last year and a half to 2 years. Honestly, when COVID started, that's when it took a left turn. Everything is being censored on how you look at how you approach any situation. So I think we'd be longer down that. But like I said, to a stance, a person want to take a stand and be prideful or just stand by it, like why not just respect it and leave it alone, right? I can't think of the player right now, but literally the other day there was a player that actually went into the Brooklyn Nets and played a game against the home team of where Kyrie is. This particular player is not vaccinated, but he was still able to play. Yeah, it's cool.
You're supposed to say V, man. Goddamn, he wasn't V.
I mean, who cares, man? Keep it going.
Alright, so we have I think I remember a time where police brutality was just all over the media as far as black people goes. And I think Michael Jordan donated $1 million to a police department. I can't remember which one in particular, but a lot of people was like, hey, you know, you shouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Why you giving the money and all this other kind of shit? And it's like, shut the fuck up. Like, everybody's gonna take their own actions on, you know, how they see fit. And just because a person don't make the right move to you, it don't mean discredit what they doing. You don't have to agree every time somebody step up and make a decision, you know what I'm saying, on what they gonna do with their platform. That's their platform. That's their voice, that's their money.
Correct.
If you don't like what somebody else is doing with their platform, build your own platform.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Create your own voice. And then, you know, you do what you feel is necessary. But I think we critique each other way too much when people do get involved in politics, black people. You know what I'm saying? You have Floyd Mayweather. When everybody else was saying boycott Gucci and do this and all this, Floyd was like, nah, I'm not with that. You know what I'm saying? People's like, see, coon ass nigga, coon.
Oh man, we're in the coon stage. All right, man, we gotta get on that then.
But however, you know what I'm saying, that black man still takes his pro-black stances in ways that a lot of people don't see. You know what I'm saying? He employs black people. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He has a particular image. See, Floyd was like, the reason why I don't take endorsement deals is because I want to be able to speak my mind. Once I sign an endorsement deal, now I can't speak my mind because a company can tell me what to say, what I can and can't do.
There you go.
So that's as pro-black as you can be. You know what I'm saying? When Nick Cannon said what he said, he had to apologize. Floyd ain't got to apologize for a damn thing. So who's really pro-black? You know what I'm saying? Like, not to discredit what Nick is doing, but I'm just saying everybody's going to do it differently. So in order to be involved politically, I think you do have to have a sense of economic independence and freedom to a particular fashion. We brought up Colin Kaepernick. The minute he began to voice his opinion, and you know, even the shirts he was wearing, the socks he was, everything he was doing was making a statement. The afro and everything else, and you had somebody like Mike Vick say he should cut his hair and come back clean cut. You know what I'm saying? Just to play football, and I'm like, dude, you have braids. You know what I'm saying? Like at a time where people associated like black athletes and braids with, you know what I'm saying, not being a image that everybody could accept at home.
Shit, you got locks now. Locks is the new thing.
Right. So, but to me that was some cool shit, you know what I'm saying, for the guy to be like, hey, instead of supporting that black man while he was going through his struggles, like people supported him when he was going through his struggles. See, a lot of black people in the entertainment world forget when the heat was on their ass. You know what I'm saying? When they wanted that support from their people, and then you have a platform and a voice, and you don't ride with your brother. I think that's some, you know, that's some cool, that's real cool shit to me.
Well, they always say like when time passes on, we all mature differently. So the same things that were getting us to once take a stance would then make us look at a situation, not necessarily being afraid, but then looking at it like, okay, what if I did a different approach? Mm-hmm. So you can always look at it as appealing to the master, if that's how you want to look at it. But as you saw Stephen A. Smith, he also made a comment talking about, I've been an NBA sports commentator for 25 years. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard somebody say. And he was particularly talking about Kyrie Irving during that time period, right? You know, like I said, when it comes to this situation era that's going on in the world, I feel like a lot of things will be stripped away unless you stand for it, right? The more people you get aligned to do certain things, the more people will have to become aligned with it as well, right? For instance, if nobody's saying no, then all of us are saying yes. Then particularly yes will be the movement that you have to take, right? I don't mind, like I always said it since the beginning since I was a kid, man. I don't mind being the bad guy, right? Because if you don't know if you only know what's right, you'll never know what's wrong. And if I gotta be the side, if I gotta be the person that's wrong, then fuck it, you know. So now to get back on the subject, when it comes, you have Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle's getting attacked on all sides right now, right? He just mentioned the coon statement right now, we have Dr. Umar Johnson, who then called out Dave Chappelle and said like, well, how are you pro-black and you got an Asian wife? I was like, man, that really had nothing to do with anything, bro. You just felt the need to voice your opinion over the situations, right? Now, we all know Dr. Umar is a very educated brother, one who stands out. There's a lot of political things across the border. But it's some issues where if it's not pertaining to, let's say, black economics and stuff of that nature, you feel the need to call it out, right? Mm-hmm. Like I said, the whole stance with Dave Chappelle was him speaking his mind on the subject matter that, well, people want to cancel him out from his Netflix series, from his last show, The Closure, instead of just being like, hey, you know what, we understood you. Like, well, he got an Asian wife. Like, we gotta get on that. What? Like the whole attack is to get his show canceled, but then you start poking at different matters. Like, man, he got an Asian wife. His sock's not black. You know, people start observing different things that's completely not even irrelevant to this situation. So we got to also point out the brothers out there that will also try to take down a brother just because he doesn't align 100% with their ideas, ways. For instance, how you pro-black, you have an Asian wife, cool, whatever. Are you gonna ride with your brother or not? That's just how I'm starting to look at things. Are you gonna take sides on what can be accomplished if this man is still up on the platform that he is, or do you help bring him down by aligning other black individuals with the fact that he has an Asian wife and not the fact they're trying to cancel him for his closure on the last stand-up he did.
And not just that, back to that Umar Johnson comment, how can Dave Chappelle be pro-black and have an Asian wife?
Right.
Well, how can you be so pro-black and talk about the black family and you're not married?
There you go. Hey, what?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
wait, say that again?
What we doing?
What we doing there?
What we doing?
What we doing there, man?
How we doing this,
man? What we doing there, man?
And I gotta say, like, I respect Umar a lot. I agree with a lot of shit that he says, but I just don't agree with that play. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't either.
And even if that is the case, man, you know, check your own behind closed doors. You ain't gotta do it like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what people want to see, is black people tear each other down. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was a little whack. But going back to Stephen A. Smith, he said some real shit one time. He got called a coon.
Right.
But he was like, look, black people been voting Democrat for some odd years. and ain't shit changed. So I feel like they should do something different and vote Republican just to see what kind of results they get.
Right.
People drug the fuck out of him for making that comment.
Right.
And it's like, at least he had the IQ, the nuts, and everything else to at least invoke that conversation on a sports broadcast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whether you agree with him or not, at least appreciate the fact that he's offering, you know, some kind of energy towards the matter.
Yes,
He could have just kept talking about sports.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but since we don't agree with him, fuck him. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, what have you gained from voting Democrat? You know what I'm saying? For some odd years.
Hey,
and that's a soft topic for a lot of people.
Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and shoot a slug real quick. Your boy Biden took away $40 billion to the black.
Right, cut it down.
They cut it down to $4 billion.
$2 billion actually, and then
It's $2 billion. No, I thought it was $4
they cut it
billion.
down to $2 billion.
I know he took away 40.
95% cut, and then to
HBCUs
and they
took
say
all their money.
And now they saying it's so small money now that the money might not even go to the facilities. It just might be passed out as grant money.
Exactly.
So, but that's your black president. That's Democrat.
What'd he say?
Huh?
You ain't black.
If you don't vote for me. And then all of a sudden Kamala Harris ain't even black no more. She's
Bro, I haven't heard
Asian,
nothing on the
South
media.
Asian
I haven't heard of her. I haven't heard of her. Bro, I'm dead serious. I never heard anybody talk about her for like the last month or two.
job's done.
I'm dead serious.
Job's done.
I have
You got
not heard anybody talk about her for the last month or two
Right,
since she
right.
got in.
Right, so fuck all that media manipulation bullshit. Like, do your own homework, do your own due diligence before you.
Hold on, since we can go back on that Kamala Harris situation, right? If y'all actually pay attention to the campaigns when they was first running, they even told you, no, we can't force vaccines, we can't force mandates. They get into the office and do the exact opposite. So then what? Now what? You know what I'm saying? I was like, that's what we talk about, like when it comes to voicing your opinion as a like, oh shit, fuck it. If you're in politics, you're somewhat of an entertainer to me, cause it ain't nothing but a shit show. So, do you have anything you want to discuss more on that Dave Chappelle scenario, the situation? Wait, and then there was a group that came out of nowhere nobody heard of. I forgot the name of the group, man. It's Black something. There's an organization that's dedicated to black individuals, and they were saying this show was disgusting. And basically, want to get it canceled. I was like, I never heard of this group in a day of my life.
Probably some paid niggas, but
Some paid niggas.
paid off. Kind of staying on this little area, cause I don't want to stay on it too long. A lot of black people politically have dispositions, and you know what I'm saying. Like a lot of people praise Lyndon B. Johnson for his contributions to Black America. But at the same time, the 501 C3s was initiated under his reign to where black churches could be tax exempt if they stayed out of political affairs. And then he also passed a memorandum that disconnected African Americans from Africans on the continent. You know what I'm saying? So people give with one hand and take with another. So you got to look at both hands before you praise people. And then, you know, we got this whole Obama loving shit, you know, where people dick ride Obama. And, you know what I'm saying, like Dr. Umar said prior, you know what I'm saying, the man did nothing for black people. You know what I'm saying, while he was in office, but we still praise him as if he's like the iconic figure. So it's like, stop letting the media and other black people pick your people that you should praise and all that shit. Pick your own. Have your own conversations and your own viewpoints and stand on it. You know what I'm saying? Whether people agree with you or not. Just have your viewpoints and have your information to back it. And going back to the athletes and entertainers, I want to talk about Allen Iverson, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think he was kind of, people made stances in their own ways. Like in a business where a lot of people, black people, wear like suits and shit to press conferences and, you know what I'm saying, and do whatever. AI, he stood his ground. Like he wore his braids, his do-rags, his jewelry, and you know what I'm saying. He was comfortable in his own skin, and that inspired a lot of athletes, and that inspired like a movement of people being comfortable in their own skin. Even a chick, what's her name,
Sha'Carri Richardson?
Yeah, you know, a lot of people was, you know, shitting on her because of her image, saying she looked too hood and all that shit, but clearly she's comfortable in her own skin. So I wanted to bring those kind of people to the table as well. Like, being pro-black is not always intentional. Sometimes, I mean, not being pro-black, but being involved with politics and being an entertainer is not always intentional. Sometimes you can inspire people in ways that you don't even intend to. So, shouts out to all the black entertainers that's comfortable being who they are, that's unapologetic on, you know what I'm saying, whatever they choose to be, and they stand on it. So, that's what I got in mind.
Okay, cool. Now, there was even a situation going on with Nicki Minaj when it came down to this, situation pushing it at hand. Her stance was she didn't want to proceed forward with what's going on with everything that's being pushed as the agenda, right? But enter to a certain extent to let her know, like, hey, you're gonna have to eventually get it. And she said she didn't want to necessarily take the cure. She didn't want to take it, but she realized she would have to in order to keep proceeding forward with her career in music. So she has to go on tour, so certain places will allow, won't allow. And that's another thing, right? It's so powerful these days that some people are not willing to take a stance and just realize, hey, instead of moving out and about, like, create your own. Like, some people are doing more virtual shows than anything. You know what I'm saying? This is in different countries, right? If those people are taking a stance to where they want to stand 100% concrete and not proceed forward with the cure treatment, then they're doing more tours and stuff like that, pop-up shops. And that's another thing. There's money in pop-up shops. We got to talk about that as well. But it's interested to see where this is going to take off within the next 5 years. Or I say 5 years because, within 3 more, this political campaign will either still be in play or another one will be taking place. So proceeding forward, it's just more so like, where is this really going, People are somewhat calling the state that we're doing from democracy to communism. If you're just paying attention to the roles that are being played, things that are being forced, things that are now being seized in front of you, it's not so much as the liberty that was instilled within the Constitution. Hey, it is what it is. But I feel we got to also pay attention to, like I said, if everybody's saying yes and nobody no longer saying no, it's going to be a problem. So there's going to be a stance, and the war is going to be somewhat televised and somewhat not televised. Your stance, this is another thing. Whether you don't have a stance, you still fall under the same shit, right? That's just like marking like going across a bubble and it's A, B, C, or D. Like, you know what? I don't know. Let me not answer. It's still gonna be wrong. So that's another thing we got to bring into the picture as well. Anything else you want to bring in there on this subject?
Yeah, I don't like the whole "how black are you" thing. That little thinking, like, if somebody speak out, you know what I'm saying, that's a black entertainer on political issues that affect black people, then a lot of people be like, well, he's light skinned or he's mixed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like that whole energy that people have to question how black are you when you speak out against issues that afflict black people. I think that for a group of people that's not really spoken for, majority of the times you should appreciate the people that stand out, no matter if they are quote unquote biracial or anything like that, or you know what I'm saying, just appreciate the acts. A lot of people want a voice, and then when they get a voice, then they want to be picky on how the voice sound, the face behind the voice, and all these other things. So I don't like that whole "how black are you" kind of energy when black people actually do step out. And I'm trying to think, did we miss out on anybody? No, I don't think we missed out on nobody.
Current event wise, when it comes to political statements, nah. Those are the main ones I've been hearing about them lately. Dave Chappelle, Kyrie Irving, Nicki Minaj, and excuse me. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully this was a great broadcast. Hopefully it brought some enlightenment to people, and stick by your own. You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't agree with everything they do, appreciate people that stand out. You got anything else on that?
I was reading this comment said we are the descendants of all races, including Asians. That isn't a valid argument. I don't know. I don't know what point they're trying to point out. That we are descendants of all races, including Asian. That is an invalid argument. LML.
Oh, about Dave Chappelle's.
About Dave Chappelle. That's what I was like.
Well,
It's just hey, it is what it is.
Hey, shit, at least she melanated.
Yeah,
that's all I can say.
She still a sister. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I don't have no more arguments on the subject matter at hand. So,
Right.
if you want to perceive something else that's within the political field that you feel that needs to be addressed.
Towards black entertainers, I do think more. I just don't like the energy behind when it was election time. All these everything was black.
Everything was black.
Black Lives Matter. Everything was black.
I don't even see them no more.
Everything.
I don't even see them no more, man.
Was vote. I mean, the whole. I really thought I wasn't fooled by the whole actions and shit like that, but black people should be like that all the time, not just when you got somebody in office.
Only during election year they come out from.
Yeah, like.
No, that's dead serious. You can track it back.
Yeah.
You can literally track it. They only come out during election.
Stop letting people control your narrative. Control your own narrative. The way black people was on Trump ass, you should be on everybody's ass like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, not just the people that you like or dislike. That energy was so iconic and all that bullshit, and now people don't even talk about those issues anymore. You don't hear it being talked about as openly. Everybody's comfortable now, so don't get too comfortable to where you forget your disposition and your purpose. If you truly got that purpose and that disposition, that shit is going to be in you regardless of who's sitting in office, regardless, you know what I'm saying, what your comfort level is. If you're going to put your foot on somebody neck, keep it. You know what I'm saying?
Keep it there until they stop breathing. No,
I ain't saying kill nobody though.
Let me stop. But I felt like that's very much interesting. Like I said, there was a lot of energy going out towards when the election was being ran, and nobody's showing up now. Like nothing, right? So I even made a post not too long ago. I was like, he just cut HBCU funds by $40-something billion.
Quiet.
So nobody, like it's amazing. Like when I talk about certain subjects and actions this man has taken, nobody makes comments. They just happy the motherfucker there, right? Then I was like, okay, so now that the HBCU fund is cut, now tell me how many of y'all student loan debt has disappeared? Why was the student loan like debt disappearing?
And I gotta say, Trump was fucking with HBCUs. This man,
bro.
You can
look it up. He actually put more money into HBCU funds. But
I gotta say it.
Hey, look, like I said, like it's crazy if you point out certain things, then somebody go point out another thing. It's like a tick for tack thing. But I was like, if you actually paid attention to Biden since the beginning, he's literally just showing his colors. Even more now. It's even more now. I'll just be laughing like, hey, this y'all nigga. That's what it is.
That's your boy.
Hey, look, not to mention, I don't know if you heard, like I said, well, it's not black entertainment, but they even have the feds cutting down on cash apps. You know what I'm saying? Any transactions over $600 feds and it's like business related, you got to report that now. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't really instilled with the, like I said, last presidential campaign going on, but. Hey, like I said, anything to track down funds is going on. People doing illegal things, quote unquote, taxes, quote unquote, whatever it is. But I at the same time, looking at it like, so how would you know if the tax is actually going towards a business? I could just be cash out for somebody for $600 because I owe, right? So even that's why Cash App has got to a certain part. Like if you're doing transactions over X amount of money, they'll eventually shut your stuff down. And then you'll have to remake a new Cash App. Like it's interesting what's going on with all these different policies being put out and all these different banks that's trying to take place and get the money to you the fastest or something of that nature. Now they're getting shut down. They're getting their asses handed to them for not implementing and putting more policies in. That's why if you ever pay attention, more apps are running more policy updates. You got to really read them and just to make sure you understand what's being taking place.
Yeah, no doubt. Beautiful. Yeah, so hey, don't get too comfortable with these people that you think got your back and all that shit. Hey, do your own homework and stay, like people say, stay woke.
All right, stay woke. I'm out of here, man. Peace and rest in peace to Colin Powell. He just died. Who just passed away? Rest in peace to that brother.
All right, y'all. Lock in with us. Subscribe. We out.